Hello and welcome, everybody. I am Bonnie Bruderer, and you are watching the Ask Bon Bon Show Expert Series. And for those of you that don't know, the Ask Bon Bon Show is a weekly television show that airs cross-platform. We are on television in New York and Los Angeles. We are on radio on multiple stations, including iTunes. We are on many online channels and have close to 500,000 on our social media following. And we're constantly growing by the day. So we are just about at 160 interviews completed with different experts, authors, speakers, trainers. And so what we're doing with the Expert Series is we are bringing back a couple of our favorites, a couple youngies but goodies, and people that viewers like you wanted to hear more about. So before I introduce you to this next woman who is absolutely incredible, what I want to do is just invite all of you that are watching to please come subscribe to our YouTube channel. By doing that, you can get videos like Naketa's, which you're going to love, like amazing experts every single week. And that is just youtube.com/theaskbonbonshow.tv. So go there now. Go there now, subscribe, and while you're doing that, I'm going to give you a little background on this amazing, amazing woman. So gosh, it hasn't even been a year ago, although it feels like a lifetime in a great way. I met this incredible woman that I would swear is a soul sister. I had to ask my dad, and he said, nope, only 4 kids. So she's not. I verified it. But we are so much alike and have so much in common, and I really just admire her spirit, her tenacity. She is a mom, she is a wife, she is a business vixen. Get out of her way or get in her way if you want to collaborate with her. I mean, she is on fire. So the one thing that I really admire the most about her is that although she has all these roles, although she has so much going on, always has a smile, always has positivity, she manages to keep balance. And so today we are going to hear straight from her, from the expert's mouth, on some tips and techniques that you can utilize in your own life to bring more balance in, to really have that kind of elusive, that unicorn work-life balance that we all hear about, we all strive for. But she's going to actually give you tips on how you can do that and create that in your own world. So Naketa Thigpen from Thigpro, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bonnie. I am excited to finally be with you again.
Yes, we've been through a lot to get here. We won't go into that, but yes, we both have.
It's amazing. I'm excited. I'm always happy to collaborate with you, to work with you, to encourage you, to support you, and to make sure that everybody who needs you can find you.
And vice versa, vice versa. So one of the things I didn't get to say yet is Naketa is one of our faculty in our Create You University. And so that's why we wanted to have her back first, because we want to make sure everybody on the show knows about her teaching there, and also that you have the type of balance that she has. So I'm going to turn it over to you to dispel your magic and your wisdom. And we'll start there.
That is awesome. Thank you, Bonnie. So for all of you who have joined in to listen, who will also watch this on the replay, let me first pay homage to Bonnie. She is my favorite coach's coach, truly, coaching over 7,000 plus amazing, incredible experts. And she's been very helpful for me with all of my media coaching stuff that I've had to receive from her, which is a whole nother hat that she rocks. She talked about all the hats that I wear. She wears quite a few too, with Ask Bon Bon Show, being an expert coach, a corporate coach, and having the Create You program, which you are all going to learn about today because it's very important to me. I'm not only a faculty, I'm a member, which is really important. You have to be a coach that doesn't mind being coached. I want to point that out. So work-life balance is not 50-50. That's that unicorn thought that we all have, is that people see it as just this even thing that you're striving for, and it's not. It's supposed to be more of a seesaw, a balance beam, as I consider it. And I'm not necessarily looking at it as the balance beam that gymnasts, excuse me, walk across, although they're amazing and they're very poised. They work really hard at that, but more so of a seesaw beam that kind of walks unsteady. You remember the ones when you were kids and you would plop on one side and it would make the other person go up and vice versa? That is your work and your life. That is what's happening. Whatever part of your life or business or professionalism, or if you're in school and going back, certifications, all of the above, having babies, raising babies, taking care of parents and elderly, you have to seesaw. You work really hard at that every single day. The rope that people tend to use, and we used to use it too, in all fairness, we used to show a tightrope of a woman or a man kind of walking, juggling things across it. That's more so of the shades of you that have to show up in your work-life balance. When you go to work, there's a certain shade of you that shows up, a certain personality. When you're at home, with your spouse, with your children, with your pets, by yourself, there's a certain shade of you that comes out there. When you're with your friends, when you go out, or if you're in class and you're studying, that's that tightrope, because you're balancing those personalities that are allowed to come out at that time, because you have to have a professional stance in professional realms. You can be a little bit more laid back when you're with your friends. And of course, when you're at home, if you have a partner at home, you have to kind of balance and compromise and collaborate on things that if you were by yourself, you wouldn't necessarily do. So that adds a little sense of that seesaw, that teeter-totter, if you will, from back in the day. It feels like that every day, and that can feel really uncomfortable and nauseating if you're not really focused. So in order to be balanced, you have to increase your focus. Part of the challenge with focus for most people is they don't realize that focus is intimacy. You have to get intimate with yourself to be focused. What do you really want? What do you really desire? What do you really need? Those are some of the things that Create You will definitely help you shape over the next 4 weeks if you are lucky enough to invest in yourself and join, which again, we'll go into a little bit later. But you want to do that. So I implore you to start with saying to yourself, what do I want? What do I need? What do I desire? When you realize that, you can set a place and a space to get intimate with that. That will allow you to gain some focus. Once you are focused, then you can infuse the balance that you need, because now you know what you really want. So I always encourage my clients, collaborators, and people who come to our little micro corporate retreats like Permission to Pause that we do, to really think about what they want and to write it in a manifesto. When you make a manifesto, you have to publicize it. Now, you can publicize it on your bathroom wall, on your mirror, you can put it on your computer, you can tweet it, you can share it on social media, or just share it with some people you know, love, and trust. But you have to put it out front. Put it in a place where you feel you're going to be embarrassed if you're not meeting that. Not because of other people, but you're being held accountable. So even if you have to put it on your mirror, you're forced to face you, what you said that you really want, every single day. Write it down. Write it simple. Make it plain. No elaborative dissertations. Nobody cares. You don't even care. Bullet points. Just write it. 1 through 4, whatever it is that you want. 1 through 10. I wouldn't go over 10 because you want it to be very realistic, something tangible and manageable that you can handle, but put it out front so it's exposed, so it's out there. Once you have that manifesto, then we can deal with what I call the Power 5, where we can get really intimate and get focused fit, right? There's some focused fitness. I know I don't really have guns. Bonnie has some really serious guns because she's always working out. I work out too, but not that same way. So I'm missing the core muscle, but I look at it a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Let's do some focused fitness for up here. This muscle is really strong. That's why my head's so big. It's beautiful, but it's huge because I'm like focused all the time. I'm working this muscle in here. So for focused fitness, I have a Power 5 rule that I work through everyone, both corporate and individual professionals. We all go through this. So this is nothing that's uncommon, but it's something that most people don't think about. So the first thing you have to do for your Power 5 after you've written what you really want, and you'll be able to use Create You to really help you through these processes to really get intimate with you. That's what you're getting intimate with. It's all about you right now. Put you first. Can you do that for a second? Put you first. I want you to do what I call a 2 to 10. You do 2 minutes at a time, and you build up to 10 minutes. Slowly. It could take you a couple of weeks. For some people, for you type A's out there, you might be able to do it in a day and a half or 2 days. That doesn't mean that's a good thing. That means you're forcing yourself and you probably won't be consistent in it. So 2 minutes at a time, I want you to zone in on something. Zone in on something physical. See the painting behind me? You could zone in on a painting. You could zone in on a ring. You could zone in on a necklace if this one isn't quite long enough, but if it was long enough to look at. I need you to zone in on something with your eyes open for 2 minutes. and try to clear your mind while you do it. For those of you who meditate, that will probably feel really easy for you because you're used to kind of clearing your mind and bringing yourself down. But for many people, it's hard to meditate because they can't focus enough. They can't clear out the clutter to be able to do it. So I always start people from the most basic level ever, and that's not a disrespect to who you are as a person. It's just the reality of your truth, which is what balance is. Balance is your truth. Focus is your intimacy. Balance is your truth. Are you truly balanced? Are you truly overwhelmed? Are you truly overcommitted? Are you truly busy being busy and not being productive? That's a whole nother, that's a faculty specific topic that only Create You folk will get access to. How about that?
I love the look. I love the uh-oh, like you busted us. We're all entrepreneurs. We're all guilty of that.
Absolutely. And, you know, first partaker. I'm the first partaker with some of those things. That's why I know it. I'm only balanced because I work hard at it every single day. There is no perfect day. I mess up and have failures in it every single day. I added something to my list that I probably shouldn't have. I overcompensated for something. I underestimated something. And I work hard at maintaining the balance that I have by staying focused and being intimate with me and my truth. That is my balance. So keeping that in mind for your 2 to 10, you know, work yourself up 2 minutes at a time. Do it 2 to 3 times a day if you can. 2 minutes. Zone in. It's the zoning approach. Zone in on something physical, tangible that you can touch. You don't want to close your eyes and do guided imagery yet. You're not there yet. That's not what we want. We want the reality of all the craziness that's in your head to be able to clear out for a second and zone in. You do that 2 to 3 times a day, and you work up occasionally to the 10 minutes. Eventually, when you can do 10 minutes of literally just staring, zoning in on something tangible, necklace, ring, picture, art, plant, teacup, whatever, then you can start closing your eyes and practicing another level where you start to infuse some of the other things that we're about to talk about for your Power 5. Okay? The second thing, thank you, Bonnie. The second thing that I want you to do is brain dump. This is my favorite thing to do. So I'm an analytical creative, and what that means is I'm really, really super smart, but my super smart can get in the way of my creative. That causes major conflict for me. Often I'm being pushed and pulled between the two. So the bridge is when I dump. I dump everything, every thought that's in my head, even those scattered weird thoughts, like you were trying to pay attention to whatever your spouse was saying. My husband's talking to me and I'm like, groceries, list, doctor's appointments for the kids, this one. All those things are happening simultaneously, and new program, new project, new client, prospect, proposal. All of those things are happening simultaneously. So this is when you stop, when you're building up your focus muscle, and you brain dump it out, preferably on a piece of paper or notepad. I know many of you are techies. You have Evernotes like I do, OneNote, sticky note, all kinds of notes on your little fancy phones. It's not the same. What happens once you get on your phone and you're trying to brain dump is you start paying attention to all the notifications. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, emails, work mails, text messages, SMS, emojis, like it all starts happening. So no, old school pen and paper. Get a cute notebook. I don't care. Just get something where you can brain dump every thought that you have that's constantly kind of interceding in your head, and not necessarily a good way. They may be all great things, but they're all happening simultaneously, especially for you entrepreneurs where you have ideas constantly. You listen to a message, you had an idea. You heard a webcast, you have an idea. Put it somewhere. You're not going to lose it, and you definitely don't have to implement it and make yourself all distracted from the lane that you're supposed to be focused on. Write it down. I keep, which is one of our other points, another focus muscle, I keep a grab jar. It's my creative jar. It's a regular jar. I actually should have pulled it over here. It's kind of cute, from the dollar store, nothing deep. I put my logo on it so I can remember that the things that go in there are business specific. I have something separate, which is a little cute milk jar for like the family stuff. But for business, all business ideas go in there. So if I'm talking to Bonnie, if we're having a media coaching session where she's coaching me on how to take the Balance Beam podcast to another level, or what to do with Periscope for 5 a.m. Club, whatever it is that she's coaching me on, I have something where I'm listening to her saying, okay, great. Let me write it down. What did you say, do? Great. And then I fold that up, especially if it's not something urgent that I can do right now because I'm in the middle of a proposal or project, and I put it in my grab jar. That's my jar. Give it whatever sexy name you want to give it. I know this is for the 20s and 30s and 40s and the flirty and the sexy. Call it whatever you want. Put feathers around it. Just use it. Brain dump and put your ideas in your grab jar, which is number 3. Number 4 is tickle your tinker. Can you say that 5 times fast, Bonnie? Tickle your tinker. Tickle your tinker. Tickle your tinker. I want you to create a Tickle Your Tinker file. If this tinker file will tickle you whenever you're tinkering around. So what happens is I'm a collector of great, amazing things. Great coaches. So I'll collect Bonnie's shows where she had awesome points. I'll collect videos, songs that might muse me. Great books. If there's a good read that someone like an expert coach, an advisor, a great fit, my friend, my sister, sometimes my 19-year-old, it just depends on what he's recommended. It depends. But whoever, they don't have to wear a fancy title to give you a great idea that literally tickles your tinker. But I collect all those things and I keep them. That's when I get to be in my tech hat and use the technology. I keep them in a Dropbox folder. I also put them on a private Pinterest page. So for all of you who are going to professionally stalk me and go to my Infuse It Pinterest page, you're not going to see this because it's private. It's a private board. But I keep a board there because I like Pinterest. And I keep all the good reads, all the things that people recommend, little copies of shows. Some experts will call them, what do they call them, Bonnie? Swipe files, I think, where you're putting stuff in that will kind of muse you and give you ideas. For me, it's just kind of my tinker file when I need something to kind of give me a boost because I'm stuck in my head. I can't move from this part of the project to the other. I have a chapter that I'm working on for a book and I just feel like I need a little bit of musing. I'll do one of 2 things. I'll go to my tinker file, and that helps me flush through and get some ideas and say, okay, I like the way so-and-so said this, but I would do it a little different. That was a great recommendation that they made in that professional development or personal development, self-development video. But I think that won't work for me if I do it that way. I'll have to do it this way. So it'll kind of help, push me a little bit and use me for that creative side because the analytical side is always going over things over and over again. That's the one thing I'll do. The second thing, which is going to sound a little silly, but I don't care. Judge me later. Don't judge me now. Is I'll pull out my trampoline. True. Pull out my trampoline and I will jump on it to my heart's content. I am a big rebounder. I love rebounding. I could tell you all the things it does for your lymphatic system and how awesome it is and how healthy it is and it's great. For me, it makes me sparkle when I sweat because when I work out, I want to sparkle. Like that's how sweaty I want to be. Mm-hmm. But it also puts so much energy physically into my body and my space. And it's something I can do pretty much anywhere because it's the mobile trampoline is all 32-inch in diameter. It's not that big. You can slide it under your couch, slide it under your bed. It allows me to just kind of break free of Naketa. Naketa is her biggest barrier. Naketa is her biggest boulder. So when I need to move that boulder, my tinker file, that analytical side of me, wasn't mused, it didn't get moved, which usually it does help most of the time. If that didn't get it, then I need that other side. My creative side is stimulated with a fitness tonic, literally, and that wasn't a play on word, when I'm mobile, when I'm doing something. I know Bonnie does kickboxing and punching bags and doing all that stuff, which is awesome. I'm not that strong.
Yes, you are. Just choose different things.
Well, you've done like triathlons. You're at a whole other level. I know my lane. It's okay. I know my lane. But, with that said, the trampoline is my lane. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And it definitely kind of unjars me, so that when I'm brain dumping and getting everything out, I can put what I need to in my give jar, my grab jar, whatever you want to call yours. The fifth thing that I would recommend, which is very, very, very important, I need you to all hear this extremely clearly, is speaking life to myself. So I call it remixing my mantra. Some of those things will come from that manifesto that you started earlier. Whatever you wrote down that you said you really want, not what your mom wants, not what your dad wants, not what your man wants, not what your wife wants, not what your kids want, not what your bank account says you should want, but what you really want. It was all in those, whatever those 4, 5, 7, 10 bullet points were that you stuck on your mirror, or you blasted on social media, wherever you put it to hold yourself accountable. There's a statement in there somewhere of what you need the most. For me, remixing my mantra meant I had to say to myself, beyond degrees and certifications, beyond experiences, beyond awesome testimonials for clients, I had to know and say to me that I am enough. That I am enough. That I don't have to look outside of me. That I don't have to compare me. That I don't have to compete with anyone except me. That was my mantra. That was your fifth thing. Want to replay it? Want to go back?
Whoa, I like hanging on the edge of my seat, taking in every word. I'm going to watch this over and over again. You are amazing. But yeah, give them a quick recap.
Thank you, Bonnie. So after you understand balance is not 50-50, that it's more of a teeter-totter kind of balance beam thing, that you're just handling your 70%, 30, whatever it is that needs to be handled in the moment, write a manifesto of what you really, really want, you and you alone, no one else's influences but yourself. And then we're going to focus your fitness muscles with 5 powerful things. You're going to do a 2 to 10 daily, which is taking 2 minutes, working your way up to 10, where you get to zone in on something tangible, a ring, a necklace, a painting, a plant, an awesome teacup, whatever you want, and just stare at it physically, opened eyes, to clear out your mind as much as you humanly can. Whatever else is left in there and all the ideas that's shooting in after your 2 to 10 minutes is going on, then I want you to brain dump on a piece of paper, something tangible. Tangibility has a great place, especially for kinetic learners, which are people who really need to move. And there's experiential is a whole other thing that's in Create You, because we'll talk about all of that. Bonnie has an awesome, 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 awesome faculty gallery there. We want you to brain dump on a piece of paper, fold it up, put it in a grab jar where you can collect all your ideas. That was number 3. Tickle your tinker by keeping a file of great inspiration, things that muse you, professional development videos, MP3s, audios, clips of shows, good read books, recommendations, poems, quotes, whatever you need to kind of go to when you're feeling a little stuck and you just need a little bit of extra oomph. And it's not time for your coaching session yet. You can go to your tinker file and be tickled by that. If that doesn't work, a side part to that was to do something physical. For Bonnie, she kickboxes, she runs, she does triathlons, all that. For me, I jump on a rebounder and I just work it out. I'll run in place, jumping jacks, yell, scream fancy things. Nobody knows. I'm here by myself. It doesn't matter. And then the 5th thing is making sure that you remix your mantra, having something that speaks life to your spirit, to your soul, to your mind, to your subconscious, which I know Bonnie will go over more in Create You because she's an NLP expert. So she has a lot to say about the power of words there. So you definitely, that might be Create You Mastery, but definitely make sure that you go through that process so you can learn powerful ways to remix your mantra. You're saying to yourself of what you need to be reminded of.
Fabulous. Thank you. Isn't she an amazing expert, you guys? Like, can you even believe how much information she just gave us in less than 30 minutes? So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to be even a colleague with you, because you truly are a professional. You truly are a master. And I so appreciate the wisdom that you have. And I am so thrilled to have you as one of our Create You faculty. So for those of you that are watching and are curious, Create You is simply this. After 20 years in the personal development industry and working with some of the biggest names in the business, from Tony Robbins, Alex Mendozian, Chris Howard, Harvey McKay, many, many others, I wanted to create, most especially for women, but it's for everybody. We don't discriminate, of course. But I wanted to create one place where people could go, and if they want to make changes in their health, their relationships, their finances, their work-life balance, the way that they do life, that they could find information on all of that in one place. And that's what Create You is. If you go to joincreateyou.com, and we're going to put Naketa's affiliate link here. So hopefully when you're viewing this, you'll be able to just click on that. But if not, please let us know that you came from Naketa. And essentially what it is, immediately you'll have access to audios, to books. You'll download 3 books, and you'll have access to experts like Naketa. There's no one like her, but similar to her. We basically, as I said, we took the best experts that we've interviewed out of our 160, and we created them into the university as our faculty. So they're there teaching techniques like you've heard today. But truly, there isn't an issue that you could be struggling with in your life that you won't get relief, benefit, tools, technology from at Create You. So make sure to go there now. It's just joincreateyou.com. It's extremely reasonable. We wanted to make something that was available to everybody. So if you can't afford a life coach, if you can't afford to do these big seminars and fly to Hawaii and wherever, you could come to Create You. And I wanted to make it available to you in your life when it's available for you to do it. So as Naketa talked about, you know, if you can only take 2 minutes to do your focus after you've done her exercises, then take 2 minutes and do your Create You. It's what works for you. So you can do it in the privacy of your home. You can do it in the privacy of your office, wherever you can do it, on the Stairmaster. But really, my goal that I want to, you know, offer an impact on the world is to be able to provide the tools and resources that I've been blessed with over my many decades in this industry with each and every person like you. So make sure to head on over there, take a look. When you join, you get immediate access. It's not something that you have to wait till next week or next month or next year. You're immediately in, and as I said, you're gonna get expert interviews, and not just 1 or 2. I mean, you're gonna immediately have dozens. So you could literally spend your entire weekend binge watching amazing, amazing teachers like Naketa. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Naketa, for being here. Look below. She's going to post her affiliate link. We're also embedded here, so you can just simply click on it. But please come over and join us at the university. We are having so much fun. We're adding new people every single week. And, you know, if you're someone that wants to make a better life for yourself, well, then it's the place for you. So we'll see you over there.
This was awesome. Thank you, Bonnie.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.